This is the Simpli Sisters Podcast. Girl, get in here, settle down, settle in, take up space and breathe. Come in this safe space where we believe in the power of sisterhood. We encourage truth and dialogue that promotes peace, clarity, and freedom. Join us here for conversations for the soul, because there is so much to talk about.
Hello and welcome to Simpli Sisters Podcast. I'm Simply Tammy.
And I'm Coach Gayl, Benson.
And today we'll speak to you about the weight of being the strong, okay? And why everyone leans on you, but we have to ask the question, who do you lean on? Okay? We're going to talk about recognizing the burnout, which is important to desperately talk about, okay? And learning that strength also means asking for help. And this topic is heavy. It's important. And it's something we do every day. And this is really a topic that my life, because I have so many people that call me, lean on me, ask me, and I'm always doing and helping. And it becomes a point of heaviness. It's very heavy. And I've done it for years. But what do you have to say about it, Coach?
Well, I think a lot of us in our Simply Circle family can relate to this because so many of us carry so many weights, and my biggest concern about us as women, is that have we become so complacent and so accustomed to being the strong one,
Right.
not knowing who we are, we weren't the strong one, that we lose sight of our own emotional capacity, that we're spent, that we don't have what we need for ourselves. Everyone has that strong person that they lean on, whether it's a counselor, a mentor, a coach, a sister,
Right.
a mom,
Right.
that friend that everybody calls when their life is falling apart,
Yes.
because the phone is ringing and nobody asks before when you answer that phone or when they show up, nobody asks you how you are, what space are you in.
Right.
When you open up and you become present for them, it's the immediate dump of whatever is happening for them. And I have been so guilty of this, where I have been in a total emotional meltdown internally, just in my mind,
Right.
emotionally trying to regulate myself. And I will get a phone call.
Right.
And as soon as I say hello, you won't even believe this. Don't ask me how I'm doing, if I'm in the middle of something. And please understand this. We have to really be honest with ourselves. That a lot of times
Right.
we have to immediately switch our mind from where we were to where we're at right now, so that you show up for those people. And we automatically do it.
We do it.
And guess what? And after you let them dump and you're the hub for whatever crisis, trauma, oppression, event that is happening,
Right.
you don't replenish yourself. And how do you defrag to get their stuff off of you? Because when people share a lot of stuff with you, especially empaths, you carry their stuff with you. So my question to our community is, how do we recognize when we're starting to get burned out, and how do we get help?
Well, because this happens in my life often, because I'm just so laid back. And I've done a lot of work on my own issues, so it's not as heavy now as it would have been had I not done the work. Because then you're carrying that double load and you're worrying about your friend now. You're worrying about your sister on top of all the other mess that you have going on.
Right.
And I've done this and I've had to step back, separate myself a little bit so that my focus could be adjusted, because I'm seeing everything and everybody. Well, wait a minute. I need to see me. How can I help you if you're dumping and you're speaking and you're dependent on me to give you some great advice? But I'm messed up.
Like you say, you can't even see you.
Me. So how am I going to give you advice? But because I've done the work, now when people speak to me and when people ask for advice or help, I'm able to do it better now. Not saying that I don't still have things on my mind. Like I woke up this morning twice because something was on my mind. So didn't need any other distraction. So I had to leave home this morning and go out. So I spent that time speaking to the Lord. I wasn't going to answer anybody's phone calls. Nobody could deter me from hearing what God had to tell me this morning as to why the devil was trying to. So just like you have to force the devil out, you have to sometimes back up and keep people back. But how do you do that? Well, how do you do that though? If it's your good friend calling and they're in desperation and they have this heavy stuff on their mind and this happened, that happened, what do? You can't say, hey, listen, got a lot of problems. I got time for you.
Right.
You're not going to do that because that won't be done in the name of love, and that's not godly. So you do want to hear your friends. But what I've learned to do, I've learned to just step back. I'm not worried about me at the time that they are speaking to me. I'm not comparing what they're saying to what I'm doing or what I'm going through. I'm purely listening to what they have to say. And I'm giving them the advice that they may need. Now, if I don't have the advice, then I can't give it. But I can be a listening ear. And that's two different things. And there's nothing wrong with asking, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give you a response? Do you want me to give you feedback? There's nothing wrong with that. But some people out there love when people call them with all the mess. That feeds them. That makes them feel important. That makes them somehow judge and jury over your life. But be careful with that because those people that are giving you advice, they may not have it together themselves.
Careful.
And I found this out with my mom and my grandmothers and my aunt. I had no idea that I did know that they depended on me for certain things, especially after my mom passed away and I was dealing with my grandmothers. They leaned on me. They depended on me. So even though I was going through dealing with my mom's death, some personal stuff, I had to deal with what they needed. But how was I supposed to do that? I did it. I became the strong one. I became if you want to say, the leader over because my mom was no longer there to do it. So, Gayl.
Listen, I feel it. That side, I feel that, I felt that, and I know so many of you are breathing the same sigh. And I want to come in here and ask a question is, do we know who we are outside of being deemed the strong one? And how do you carry the weight of being the strong one when your strength is the thing that's killing you? The strength or your portrayed strength is the thing that is depleting you.
Right.
And I go back to what I originally said. How do you replenish yourself? So to speak to what Tammy said about when oftentimes we don't have it, but because of the gift and the calling that we have, the gift that God has given us, because our gifts and your power, it's a beacon. And that's why people are drawn to you for specific reasons. So my practice is no matter where I am or what I feel I'm going through, because we get in our own spaces in our own heads sometimes.
We do.
Okay. When that thing pops up and someone is talking to me, as they're talking, I got to receive your information. And then I'm in prayer.
Right.
Father, give me the knowledge.
Yes.
And the words to plant and impart on them what you need me to say.
Right.
Give me the ability to recognize where you are stepping in.
Right.
And I receive the information. We have to listen, like you said. If you calling me and I'm like, okay, like Tammy said, do you need an ear or do you need help? It doesn't always start off that way because as I start listening to you talk, for two reasons, I have to stop you. Number one, I need to understand so I make sure I am giving you what you need. And number two, I'm going to need to protect myself because I don't know if this will be you just venting and talking trash or you actually are in a transition and needing some real guidance. And you need tools because I'm going to start digging from a different bag. Yes. I'm going to start reaching from a different hat because if you want some BS that you vent and pressure going to come up and we're going to have a different type of conversation.
Right.
But if I need to give you proper tools that's going to help you transition through or grow through what you're going through, then I'm going to pull out some different information for you.
Right.
But I have to make sure that I, number one, have that conversation with myself so I can help myself help you. Because I already know you're not going to help me help you. You're just going to present me with the problem. Because that's what you're calling me for, because that's what my beacon was. My beacon showed up and you were drawn to me and you calling me for help. If it's help. Now, like I said, if it's some BS, we're talking about something else. But how do you maneuver? How do you still stay true to your calling, but that portrayed strength is the thing that is depleting you? It goes back to, how are you recognizing the burnout and how do you ask for help to replenish yourself?
Okay. So 2 things here. Okay. Number 1, there are those of you who will use a situation and you will call somebody with an issue that you have with somebody else. You will call, just say somebody has an issue with somebody else and they call me. Well, there's something that you have to watch out for, because sometimes people use their problems with somebody else to try to get you against that person. We have gotten to be careful. We can't get excited because someone's calling us with a problem or information or they need help. We really have to discern the situation. Okay. Now, the other part of this is somebody may be calling you, okay, because you're what? You're the strong. You're the one who's going to help people. Hey, listen, they may be calling you, get your input about what? Somebody else. Okay. Then there's this, and because they don't have anything else going on in their lives.
She will not let me be great.
They find something. They have nothing going on. They find something to bring to you. Why? Why? What is necessarily the need for you to do that? You just have messy people. You have people with no direction. Yes. And so let's move on.
They want some of you. They want your energy too, all the while. They want your energy. Some people are energy suckers. And I had to teach my daughters that. They didn't understand why people were always coming, because people are energy suckers, whether it's genuine or not. Something about them needs your energy, and it's up to you how much you give to them.
It's true. And if you're not divinely attached, if you're not divinely connected, and you're dealing with all these people's stuff, sometimes it's the devil. You have to discern people's conversations. And I'm saying, before you call somebody else, or you call me. You know, I received a couple calls this weekend, people needing assistance. So I knew who the person was. I knew their mindset. I knew whether they needed my help or not. And I knew whether I could help them. And I was able to. Why? Because I'd done the work. I have the knowledge. They know that I'm capable of getting them where they needed to be. And I did. Okay. They're so thankful today for what I was able to do for them. But I was like, well, yeah, I can help you. Let me call you back. And then go run and check and get some information and then throw it at them. Say, no, I am able to help you. This is what I know. This is how this goes. And then if you speak that way and you give people that, they know that they can trust you.
And be okay when you don't have tools or an answer for people, and direct them somewhere else, okay? So when we come back, because we got to come back on the other side. When we come back, we're going to talk about recognizing the burnout and some things that you can do to redirect yourself so that you can be replenished and find your strength to be strong.
Yes. We'll be right back.
Hey, sis. Love
Welcome back to the Simpli Sisters Podcast, where we are talking about the weight of being the strong one. So, we left off talking about recognizing burnout for those of us who are portrayed or thought to be, or who really are, strong ones and working in our strengths. One of the first signs of burnout is that you may find it emotionally depleting to show up. You may start feeling anxious when people call you for help. You answer the phone, you show up, you answer, you solve the problem, you give the advice, you provide the tools, but you are so weighed down after you do it. You're emotionally exhausted. You're working and functioning at capacity, and you're left on E. So how do you build yourself back up? Have you said, I'm fine so much?
Yeah.
That's your default response. I'm fine. Till oftentimes you really don't realize that you're not.
Well, that's true. And what happens is we get up, we go about our day, we do our job, we talk to 99 people. We have to get off work, go home, take care of the responsibilities. You're on the phone. If you notice, everybody's on the cell phone all the time.
All the time.
So you're speaking to somebody about something, and you get home, you're tired, you're just still trying to push, and you're still on the phone with somebody. And that just starts collecting on you. It starts to become that weight, especially every day when people view you as being the strong one. And that's people's view of you. Then you think that you have to what?
Meet that
Meet that
expectation.
expectation.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's okay not to answer your phone. It's okay to take time for you, because trying to listen to everybody's problem, and I know some of us out here, not me, but some people, the mama's calling, the sister's calling, the brother's calling, and
Friends,
the friends, the kids. I mean, everybody's calling, needing something. And you don't want to let family, you don't want to let mommy down, sister down, brother down. You got to deal with your kids.
Right.
So with me, I'll tell you what, I go in the bathroom, I get in the shower, and I stand there, because there's a certain covering on you when you're in the shower. If you all didn't know this, when you get in the shower, there's a covering on you from God. It's in the Bible. So anyway, that's that time for you to decompress. That's that time for you to take for you and say and pray. That's that time for you to cleanse your mind, cleanse your day. Okay. Also, the other thing is, instead of talking on the phone in your car when you're going from, just say you left work and you're headed to the grocery store, you're headed home, take that time, turn the radio off, take that time for you, just to allow the quietness to help you. It's so important. I do it every day. I did it this morning. I had to, because the devil was on me this morning. 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock this morning. 2 o'clock, I jumped up out my bed, sat on the side of the bed. Something was weighing heavy on me, but I am determined to not let the devil win, okay? Went back to bed, fell asleep, got up, and it was just heaviness on me. And said, nope, he's not going to win. What did I do? Took all of that, because this week I've had to deal with certain situations, and I've had to deal with loved ones. I've had to deal with some of my own stuff, and it's been heavy. It's been painful. There's been a lot of prayer going on. And in the midst of me dealing with something on Friday, I had a friend calling me back and forth, just dealing with something with one of their parents that they needed help because they knew I dealt with myself. And I've talked to them since Friday, probably 15 times. But I'm that friend and I'm there for them. But I know that what I'm telling them, how I'm helping them, is right. But that's just a lot. And sometimes you just don't have to answer the phone. You have to get away, get that time by yourself. I'm telling you, it helps. Honey, you'll find yourself, you find yourself stressed out. Again, I always say your hair falling out, your skin, you looking sleepy and tired, the bags under your, whatever it is, how it comes to you. And you have to watch this too, because your immune system can be affected. Immune system is affected. That leads to all kind of stuff. So,
and you know what, Tammy, that's a lot, because that is a lot of energy going out all the time. That is energy without a lot not coming in.
Right.
Like a car.
Right.
If there's no gas in the car, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
If your little electric car not plugged up or been charged, you ain't going nowhere. You just sitting in the cute little car.
Right.
So, you have to be well with
Right.
the time that you have to take for yourself. Because I'm going to tell you something about people. And this used to be me. That I'll be so involved with making sure that I'm helping everybody else. And when I did get quiet time, I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't want the quiet time. You know why? Because then the things that I needed to do for myself started popping up that I didn't feel like doing. I didn't want to acknowledge the work that I had to do for myself because I charged myself with, well, I got to do this for other people because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I willingly was neglecting myself and the things that I wanted to do because I felt like they was hard and I didn't want to deal with it at the time. So we run away from ourselves, and that's avoidance. And most often people who are avoiders, they overindulge themselves in everybody's lives or over avail themselves.
Right.
And they overbook themselves and all that booked and busy, baby. It's not real. That's not very productive because if you're booked and busy, how much real fruit are you rendering? And how much real fruit are you giving if you are at capacity?
Right.
And your goal is just to be on the phone with somebody to avoid your own lives.
Yes.
So what I will task you to do is designate time throughout your day. Praise God, I'm an empty nester. I'm home a lot of the time. My youngest is home for the summer, but she gets out of there, baby. She got to go. She got to go. But I designate time, for myself. I learned something from Boss Lady about making myself unavailable at a certain time of the day because I used to always just be available just in case I had something happen in my life where, somebody had tried to call me and I didn't get his call and he died. Not that very day, but I didn't know he was trying to call me. Now, and he passed away. And it broke my heart. And that was years ago, but that still is in, the back of my mind. And I never wanted to have someone who needed me or needed my voice or just needed my ear and not be available. So the weight of that loss is with me every single day. But I had to learn how to pray and say that whatever God is going to align, because God aligns me in the pathway of the people that need me. Right. And aligns people in my path that I am going to need because we all need each other. So I have to embrace, and it was hard when I started watching and learning how when Boss Lady took that time for herself. And that inspired me. And I started incorporating that in my life. And even recently where, people are trying to reach you and they say, oh, I'll give you a call. Somebody told me they was going to give me a call at 10 o'clock. And I said, PM? No, baby, that won't do. I said, let me put you up on game. After 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am not available. So. And I started adjusting I had to go into my calendar and adjust when I had myself available for client. My clients know if it's past 7 o'clock at night, I am not available because I don't want to be worrying about the things that I have to do for myself or some things that I need to put in the background for me so I could be present. I need to be 1000% present for you when you're calling and talking to me. And I'm not going to be worried about me and you simultaneously when I'm supposed to be helping you. So that is where I step in, recognizing my burnout. When I start feeling anxious, when I start feeling frustrated, when I feel like I don't have much to give, when I feel like I have a mental block and I got to go back into my training and go into my books. That for me is where burnout starts setting in. And that's when I start setting boundaries. And that's when I start valuing myself and respecting my time and my energy so that I can have enough to give to you. And I hope that you all do that. Designate time for yourself, a time of day.
Yes.
Now, I have just learned how to ride in silence. Now, you in the car with me, it ain't going to be too quiet. It's not going to be too quiet if y'all not out here being considerate drivers. But I have learned to use that time. And because I have a longer commute now.
Yes.
And I'm not complaining because I love my drive home.
Yes.
And listen, I want to tell you all something. I was having these visions for the last few years about this greenery, this scenery, all this greenery. And I was just driving through all this greenery. And one day, and I was talking to my boss, Bessie in Tennessee. I said, Shawnee, remember when I told you I kept having these visions about driving through all this greenery? And I just like, where would I see that? When is that going to happen? And about 2 weeks ago, I was driving home from work, and it was my first time coming home that way.
In the greenery.
And I saw it. And it took my breath away. I had tears in my eyes, and all I could do was thank God, because I didn't understand how was I going to be in that type of environment.
That's one of the topics coming up in our future here.
And that's coming up. But when I drive through that serene environment, I thank God the entire way. And I use that moment to talk to him and talk to myself, because I need to talking to sometimes, okay? But value yourself and your time, the gifts that you have, so that you do replenish yourself. Get in a community of people where you don't always have to be the strong one. And there's other strong people around you that you can draw from, and you all reciprocate that to each other. Mind your circles and check your circle.
I'm checked.
I'm definitely checked.
Yes. I've been told you don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to be, you have help now. And that had to click because of habit.
Right.
But I'm going to go back to something she spoke about. And the first thing I'll tell you, when you guys say train people, sometimes you have to train people.
Teach
people how to deal with you. Because the type of job that I have all day, I'm hearing from lawyers. I'm hearing from treatment programs, the people, the mama, the aunt, all day long. It's just nonstop. My coworkers, we're speaking. There's other things going, and it's heavy. And this has nothing to do with my personal life. That's just work. I have three cell phones. When I get home, that black phone, I turn it off. Boop. I do not want anybody to call. I don't even want to hear the sound of the phone. But when I get home, I want now to be able to. So now my phones are on silent. If I see the white light on the phone, I know it's my son, daughter, you, or boss lady. The other thing is, when you were speaking about somebody trying to call you and you missed the call and they passed away, I have been there where I was in an argument with somebody and I received, somebody's trying to call me. I said, I'll talk to them tomorrow. And I'll be darned, it is going to affect me the rest of my life because it was my mother calling. And about 5 hours later, my mom was deceased. And I didn't answer her call. Took for granted that I would see her tomorrow. And the situation I was in at the time, I felt like it was too much. It didn't need to be going on. It didn't need to happen. But now I have to live with the rest of my life like you have to live with. People make great choices, have good conversations, decide what's important and what's not important. Stop putting pressures on people you don't need to put pressures on. Know who you're talking about. Knowing the right people who can help you is so important. I don't know. This topic could go on forever and ever because we have forever on these cards, but we only have so much time to sit here and speak to you about the heaviness of things happening and things being presented to you because of other people and things that they've dealt with and things they're going through. Some of the stuff, you have some people going through stuff, some things I've never even heard of. And when they bring it to me, I'm like, well, let me just listen. Because I don't have them, the growth of them. So I have to listen. I'm not chiming in on something I don't know. You can look at me later and say, she stopped, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So,
and we hope that you recognize how to ask for help. I know it's very different and a lot of us struggle with asking for help, but what we want to encourage you to do is not wait till the last minute,
right?
To when you're falling apart. Be honest about the type of help that you need. Take time to be able to communicate that to your support group, your community, or whomever, someone that you're able to reach out to. Align yourself with a support system or community. Join our Simply Circle family.
Yeah.
You have access to us through our email. Email us at info@simplisisterspodcast.com. Visit our website at www.simplisisterspodcast.com. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Come back every week and indulge yourself in the conversations for the soul, because there's always so much to talk about. If this is the tool that you use to try to replenish yourself, we appreciate you and we thank you.
Yes.
We are here. Go in the description to utilize our social links to get social with us. But we want to say thank you for being here, and we will see you next Tuesday at 6 a.m. and make it happen beautifully. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.